Hey guys, it's Joe here, Doctor of Physical Therapy, owner of 509 Wellness. Today we are talking about one of my favorite lat stretches. This goes into the first video when we went through some thoracic mobility with the peanut. And now we're working on trying to stretch out that lat muscle. And just to preface, that lat, which is the great big wing muscle on our back that we work during obviously lat pull downs or pull-ups, that muscle actually starts at our iliac crest of the hip. It attaches into a few ribs. It attaches into some of our thoracic spine, crosses over our shoulder blade, and finally ends in our humerus or arm bone. And so basically when that lat contracts, it's pulling our whole arm down. So you think that lat pull down position. And if it gets really tight, restricted, gets all knotted up, bound up because it's been overworked or it's weak or it's been in a poor position, it's gonna affect that overhead motion. And so again, we are having issues with overhead motion. So now we are trying to stretch those lats out a little bit, mobilize them into a little bit longer length so then we can get back into some of those overhead movements more effectively. And so what I'm using, just a stick, basically like a stick mobility stick, but you can use a chunk of PVC pipe or a dowel. And when I get into this position, my elbows are going to be kind of in a V. So elbows are close, hands are splayed out a little bit. Okay, and then I am just dipping my chest down, kind of putting my head towards the bench. Okay, you should feel when you're sinking down into that stretch, you should feel a lot of tension from basically the armpit all the way down in that wing pattern we were talking about. And one other thing that you can do, so again, we're in that V position, you can bias one side or the other. So you can push basically one arm into a little bit greater external rotation as you're doing that stretch, and really bias one lat or the other as you're sinking down. And so play around with those two variations, just kind of standard V as we're sinking down, stretching both lats, and then play around with biasing one side or the other. And you should be able to then translate back into some of those overhead movements, and you should see that you have a little bit more overhead range, or it doesn't feel as stiff or tight towards the top. So yeah, as always, shoot me a comment, send me a direct message if you have something personal that you want to ask. And yeah, stay healthy, stay happy, and I'll see you in the next video.